and the upside down part, but in the race, no communication.
We actually do communicate. You see Top Gun?
Yes.
I was watching yesterday. Were you trying to dip your wing onto his windshield so he couldn't see? Was that a tactic?
Yeah, I've dipped my wing in a few things before, but I wasn't trying to touch anything this time. So, I'm actually sitting there pretty good. My wingtip's about 1 metre away from his head while he's driving. And then I try and spray smoke all over his windscreen so he doesn't know where he's going.
It is one of the great spectacles of the air show. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time and happy racing.
Thank you very much.
Well, Matt, over to you. See you guys. Thank you, Michael V.
A Seahawk display pilot and also a qualified flying instructor, Lieutenant Michael Ski. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you have been flying this aircraft for quite a long time, and you were very fortunate enough to basically convert onto this jet somewhere very, very pleasant. I'm jealous. Where did you go to?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to spend nearly 10 years since I've been flying the Hawk and did my conversion for a year in America down in Florida. So it was a nice little treat to do that. And then been operating out of now for the last 9 years, living in sunny Jervis Bay.
So the MH-60 Seahawk is basically the Navy's premier combat helicopter.
Its primary design is a submarine hunting helicopter, but we can quickly reconfigure it to be surface warfare. We put 4 Hellfires on the side, 50 cal machine gun, or we can go for search and rescue, utility operations, and everything in between. So very capable. It's a battlefield helicopter, robust as. We love it.
You wouldn't say it's going to win a beauty contest in a heartbeat, but the big ball on the front, what's that?
Yeah, so essentially we've been having 13 variants of Black Hawk helicopters since the end of Vietnam, and each year they bolt something new to it. So it is littered with sensors and bits of kit. On the front you've got our forward-looking infrared video camera search tool. It doubles up with several lasers in there too to put missiles down range also.
And that's an interesting tailplane configuration for a chopper. Not that I know a great deal about choppers, but tell us what's going on at the rear end.
Yeah, so we've got a canter tail rotor, provides a little bit of thrust up there too. What Marta is doing at the moment, our other display pilot, is just kind of demonstrating the raw power of the Seahawk. So a 360-degree climbing turn using the power pedal also, and then down to the dive to the left. So it fully bombed up. This thing weighs 23,500 pounds, about double the Black Hawk, but even still it can be whipped around.
When you say pack it up, what happens?
Well, that's the unique part about the naval variants of Black Hawk and Seahawk. So we can snap the tail in half, it folds in on itself, turns into a bit of a transformer, and all the blades come back behind itself, and that allows us to stack them like sardines in a hangar.
And what other sort of missions does it undertake? Not just anti-submarine, anti-surface, but what are we talking about?
Yeah, so that's our primary duty when we go international operation, but on the home front too, we for national emergencies, we go very good all the time. So over the last few years, unfortunately, there's been lots of fires and floods and stuff like that. We'll help out where we can. We try to just gut the helicopter, make it as light as possible before we can jump in on those roles too.
Now, obviously, there's not just a pilot on board, so tell us a bit about the actual crew formation.
Our standard crew, which we operate tactically, so we have the aircraft captain, who's in charge of safety of the overall helicopter, sits in the front right. In the front left, we have aviation warfare officers. That's our mission commander, who's leading all the tactical communications and putting the whole tactical picture together. And then in the back, we have our sensor operator, who doubles up as air crewman, rescue swimmer. So it's a all team environment. And then on top of that, we generally don't like to hang out by ourselves. We'll operate with another Seahawk helicopter, and the PA beside it will come and have a play too.
That washing machine manoeuvre.
A pirouette.
Is that right? Talk us through that. Oh, talk us through this one actually.
Yeah, so very dynamic manoeuvre, the back up and nose over. So it's ideally we like to look where we're flying. We don't fly backwards, but again, it's just another demonstration of the raw power of the Hawk. So maximum power. We pull a rear attitude and then fly all the way up into, we call it the avoid curve, because it's not ideal if you have a single engine failure, but we quickly dive down out of that position for the running landing. And Marto, the display pilot, is a motorcycle enthusiast, so a running landing only on runways on a ship, it's all single spot manoeuvres, but Marto's going to demonstrate how to wheelie a helicopter essentially.
He did actually say yesterday that when he's
We do have rear view mirrors, yeah, so sometimes it is nice to see engines running also, so that's what they're there for, not necessarily the backwards flying that we do in the display.
When you're not going backwards, you're going forwards, at what sort of speeds can we do?
Yeah, all helicopters generally get up to about the 300 kilometre an hour mark, and we're no different. The problems we have that affect that maximum speed is when we bolt on all those weapons and make the
Talk us through a bit of that.
Yeah, so our normal for anti-submarine warfare, for firing the submarine, we'll have 25 sonar buoys that we can fire out, both passive and active. The big powerful tool that we have that deploys at the bottom of the helicopter is the dipper, and then once we identify and classify that target, and if it does prove to be hostile, we can put torpedoes onto the seafloor also.
There's a large dish underneath the front of the aircraft. I'm assuming that's a radar?
Yeah, and that's the absolutely showstopper of any kind of surface contacts that are out there. That radar is insanely capable, and it can find contacts extremely small, extremely far away. Is probably the classification I'm comfortable talking about, but it is a very powerful kit that the US Navy has put on this helicopter.
Am I right in assuming that this is the final pass?
Yeah, so we've got
This search and rescue helicopter really is a true multi-role helicopter with what it can do off the back of a Navy ship. And we've seen a lot of these in action, particularly during search and rescues of late, where we had a P8 Poseidon coming in, and we had a Lithuanian man who was in I think a small boat off of Queensland, and he had to be brought in before Tropical Cyclone